You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is he doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. I feel it. Do you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup celebrating nearly 50 years of the Doctor Who universe. Hold tight. You never know where the TARDIS is going next.
Blossom, yes, Blossom.
That's the only sad thing. I want to know what happens next. Right then. Doctor whoever I'm about to be. Tag. You're it.
I know these teeth. What? What?
Hey there, listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. That's right, Whovians. We are back for the last show of 2022. Gosh, this year, even though we didn't really have a ton of new Doctor Who, it just feels like it flew by. And we kept you guys entertained, I hope. And I hope you guys have enjoyed what we've talked about. And of course, we are continuing with our holiday theme specials. We are looking at A Christmas Carol, the first Matt Smith holiday special. And it was, to me, this one is one of my favorites. This is, the class act and reminds me how much I loved Matt Smith as the Doctor. And it was, it's going to be a ton of fun to talk about. And it actually shocked me that we never talked about this one on the podcast.
How did that happen?
I don't know. But, want to wish a very happy holidays to my co-hosts, of course. Ms. Mary Ogles here. Happy holidays, Mary.
Oh, happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everybody. So happy to be here.
And, of course, Mr. Mike Gordon. Happy Christmas, my friend.
Howdy. Howdy holidays.
Howdy holidays. That's what we should. That's our T-shirt for next year.
I was just going to say that. We need to make a T-shirt out of that.
That is it. I will start designing it now. Oh, we could even have a whole collection of the Howdy Holidays T-shirts.
Howdy everything.
Exactly.
Just need to make sure one of them at least is an ugly sweater.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do that.
We totally can make it. We can make an ugly sweatshirt or an ugly ESO T-shirt. Hey, don't say anything about the ones that exist already. So we're not going to.
Nope.
No.
I would never. Never.
No. Hope everybody at home is having a great holiday too. But, it's crazy that it's already Christmas time. It's already Hanukkah. It's already almost New Year's. It's just crazy. And, we're starting over with 2023 and we still have 11 months till the new Doctor Who still. So we'll still be coming to you guys every other week, and we will be talking all kinds of cool stuff. And we do have a live show already in the works for January. So it should be a ton of fun for us to do. And you know what? We'd love to hear from you guys. Feedback at earthstationwho.com. Definitely. What are you guys doing for the holidays? Are you guys doing anything Doctor Who themed? I know there's not a holiday special this year or a Christmas special, but, do you guys sit around and watch some of the Christmas specials on Christmas Day? I know some of my Whovian friends do that. They do like a marathon and everything. And so, I'd love to hear what you guys do at home. because even regular Doctor Who could be festive in its own way. It's always an adventure. So it's pretty
Should
cool.
be interesting to see. Usually BBC America does a sort of marathon of all the Christmas specials. I wonder if they're going to do that this year, and if so, it'll probably be the last time they do it.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I think by this time next year, I think most Doctor Who streaming is going to be on Disney.
It's going to be on Disney.
Yeah, I don't think we know yet when the date is, but I'm sure it's going to switch over at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly. I'm just still waiting to see the TARDIS with Mickey ears on it. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. But, Doctor Who news, not a ton of new Doctor Who news, except we got the new costume. So yes, we got the new costume for the Doctor and the companion for Ruby.
They look good.
Ruby Sunday. I still can't get used to that.
Yeah, that's so silly. The name is silly.
I still want to call her Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that's
Sure,
the point.
of course.
The joke. But they look good.
Oh, I think they look
I like
awesome.
the costumes.
I always like a good tweed or plaid, it's whatever you want to call it. And I think he looks great in it. And the orange, I'm a huge orange fan anyway. And so I think it's pretty cool that, he's wearing a fuzzy orange shirt. So.
Yes. And she does not have high heels on.
Which is really
She's
smart
wearing
since they
boots.
run a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say the footwear is definitely key. Doctor and companion must have not only comfortable footwear, but footwear that's easy to run in.
Is she wearing Doc
Yes.
Martens, I think? Or it looks like that.
It's some sort of boots. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what they are.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they look good overall. To be honest with you, I'm sort of underwhelmed. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't wow me. I think it just looks kind of okay. I'm not really blown away by it. I'm not like, oh man, that looks awesome. I want an action figure of that. I just it's kind of a little bland, but
I can't wait to see what the people at Funko are saying about the patterns, trying to get that front of the look.
I know, right?
I'm sure they are cursing up and down. But I'm kind of glad they went understated.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
mean, that's actually kind of a hallmark of RTD's doctors.
Well,
really
think about it. His
the
first
top.
Doctor was wearing a black leather jacket, a t-shirt, and
it's
some
true.
black pants. So
yeah,
at least he gave Tennant a little, change of costumes every once in a while. So it'll be very interesting. And this is just his first. We don't know if he's going to, change throughout the season or whatever. This is just the first shot of it. I like it. I truthfully do. And, maybe not the fuzzy orange shirt, but, but I still think it looks great. And I love the rings he was showing in the video.
The rings are way cool.
The rings are very cool.
Yeah, the rings, and he's got a pendant. And I don't know how many folks have tried to zoom in on that to see if that has any significance, but I noticed he's wearing a pendant.
It's cool. I think it's going to be very neat to see. We need somebody on the show who's like a fashion critic, and I'd love to hear what they have to say.
Because what not to wear.
Exactly. Well,
that orange top is certainly going to make it hard for him to hide in shadows.
Ooh, definitely.
Yeah, he's going to shine like a beacon.
I know. It's going to be like, whoa, turn it down.
Coming from what Jodie had a rainbow on her black shirt, So
yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool, and you know what? I'm very much it got me even more excited about the season, because all we've seen him is either in like David Tennant's button down shirt with the tie and everything, or we've seen what people wanted the costume to do, all photoshopped and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we finally got something official, and I knew we would because they were already starting to film the first season with him. So I'll be very curious to see what they do and everything.
Yeah, I mean, and also that's, the costume is like usually the first concrete thing that really shows that they're filming, that they're starting the new series.
Yeah. Exactly. I know many people who wished when Colin changed, regenerated, they said, "Oh, that can't be his costume." No, that multicolor thing.
And that was it.
No way.
Exactly. And it's like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then it all went downhill from there.
It's like,
Costume was the least thing that people were complaining about.
Oh yes, very much so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with it. And, I'm going to hold judgment until we watch them on the big screen. And we have quite a long time still to do that. But
yeah, about a year.
Yeah. So, because I think his first full episode is going to be the Christmas special. So
they did announce there was going to be 8 episodes.
Yes. But we don't know if that's going to include the holiday special or if it's 8 episodes plus a holiday special.
We're not sure.
Because they said we are getting one for 2023 and we are getting one for 2024. So.
Yeah, he said he'd already written the one for 23 and was in the middle of writing the one for 24.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So thank goodness with that. So we will have to see what happens. But, definitely, in the meantime, we have a lot to look forward to, like stories or if people are coming back or whatever. And don't believe all these rumors you're hearing, because there's a lot of crap swirling out there and about the series and how they're going to, how much Disney's going to be fitting in. We're going to be doing an episode talking about Disney in a couple weeks. So, we'll talk all about it then, but, I don't think it's necessary for us to focus on that right now. Let's focus on the positive, as we like to say. So it should be kind of cool. But, otherwise, I think, there's not much other Doctor Who news, especially around the holidays and such. So let's, I guess we'll just jump into our holiday special.
The skies of this entire world are mine. My family tamed them, and now I own them.
There are 4,003 people in a spaceship trapped in your cloud belt. Without your help, they're going to die. You don't have to let that happen.
I know, but I'm going to.
Whatever happens tonight, remember, you brought it on yourself.
Was that a sort of threaty thing?
We're only asking for one day. Just let her out for Christmas.
Nobody has to die.
Everybody has to die.
Not tonight.
Tonight's as good as any other night. Who are you?
Tonight, I'm a ghost of Christmas past.
So we are going back, ready for this, folks. We are going back to the year, oh my goodness, 2010. Ooh, 12 years ago, folks. God, I can't believe it's 12 years ago. Right?
Wow.
And everything. So December 25th, 2010, and it is going to be awesome. We are talking all about the Christmas Carol. And you know what? It was directed by Toby Haynes, written by Stephen Moffat. Of course, Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. And you got Amy and Rory. So Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill.
On their honeymoon.
And
doing a little role play.
Doing cosplay or role play.
Not cosplay.
Yeah. No. Why are you dressed that way? Shut up. So, but it was also awesome because we got Michael Gambon, who is just amazing in this role. The only thing I had ever seen him in before this was Dumbledore on Harry Potter.
Oh, wow.
And so it was very interesting.
Villain.
Oh, he was awesome. He was, very cool as Kazran, and, wanted to call him Ebenezer the whole time. So it's okay.
Yeah. He's very Scrooge-ish.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
that is intentional.
Oh, I know. But it was interesting because, like we've been watching the different holiday specials before this, and especially the David Tennant era, they weren't solely Christmas themed. And jumping into the Matt Smith era, this couldn't be much more Christmassy. The only thing was missing was Santa, type thing.
Yeah, we get around to Santa later.
Yes, we do.
Specials.
I think,
we do.
I think with RTD, his Christmas episodes were all, Christmas seemed to be kind of forced into a story.
Right.
Maybe it was in the background, or he would, they had the Santa robots and that kind of thing, but they weren't, they were about as Christmassy as Die Hard, right? Whereas this one, Steven is like, look, I'm going to take, probably one of the most famous stories, Christmas stories for sure, but famous stories of all literature, and use it to inspire a Doctor Who episode in a way that has never been done before. And it totally works. This is not only my favorite of the Christmas specials, but one of my favorite episodes, period. I just think it's so well done. So interesting, the concept. I've seen it a few times, but I'll tell you what, the one thing that I always forget about is the fish. Like, for some reason, I'm like, the fish is so odd that I just kind of forget about them. And whenever I watch the episode, like I did the other day when I saw this one, I was like, oh yeah, the fish.
There's a shark.
There's a shark.
That's a weird choice. But it kind of has a Douglas Adams feel to it, like with adding the fish to it. Like it feels like it works for some weird reason. It does. Yeah, to me anyway.
It's very whimsical, but I think it's that's okay, because the whole tone of it is kind of whimsical, and it's sort of the just like a step off the Christmas Carol story. It's like, what would happen if we told the same story, but we made it a little more absurd?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of fun with it. And to me, this is the best Christmas special of all the Doctor Who Christmas specials.
I kind of agree with you guys on that one. And you actually find a lie that the psychic paper couldn't even cover.
That was pretty funny.
And it's like, all I see is squiggly lines. It's like,
oh.
So, I just thought it was awesome. And Matt was wonderful in this.
Oh, he's so good in this.
Matt
is so good in this.
From his entrance down the chimney till the very end, he is just so delightful. Mm-hmm. I always, again, it's one of those things where I always kind of forget. We just saw a couple of David stories with David Tennant, and David is absolutely a master. Like, he's just so good, and you're thinking, wow, it doesn't get much better than this. And then you see Matt, and you're like, it's a totally different thing, because they were inspired by totally different other Doctors. But it's done so well, and Matt is he owns the screen. He owns the screen with his boyish charm and his uber intelligence. It's just a wacky.
He is so manic in this. It's just amazing, the energy he's putting off, and like you said, the boyish, energy, and the scenes where, like, one scene he's talking to Katherine, old Katherine, and then he goes, next scene he's like, within 3 seconds he's in the movie talking to the young kid and everything. And Moffat captured time travel so well that he, the whole thing about changing a person's history, because if a time traveler went back and fixed it all, or not changed it, and it was just real. It was really well done. It was just really. It's like, and the scenes where it's just literally, it's Michael Gambon talking to himself, literally. I do remember this. I remember, wait, don't go in there. There's a and it's just, it's just awesome to see and everything. And you could see his character changing right in front of you. And that's just so good. And the talent they had in this. And Katherine Jenkins was just awesome in this too. She was great. And her voice, well, she's an opera singer, of course. Her voice.
Oh yeah, she had, God, what a beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm.
She had the right sort of ethereal tone, ethereal look to her. Like, she looked very fragile and very angelic.
Very angelic.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once the Doctor learns that she's dying of some disease or whatever, the Doctor has a TARDIS. He can go anywhere in the universe, though. Couldn't he have found a place to cure the poor lady?
Well, that's the eternal question. I assume she's a fixed point.
Of course she's a fixed point.
Sure.
As we hand wave it away.
Sure.
I mean, he also doesn't show much concern for what seems to be hundreds of other people frozen.
Yeah. Oh,
there.
No one else. Just, poor Abigail. But the other people, they're just, they're just doing their time till their debt is paid off. It's like, and so this is just a sign that you better pay off your credit cards, folks. Just remember that.
I mean, or you'll be on ice. That's a Charles Dickens reference. It's debtor's present.
Oh, very much so.
It's just that they happen to be frozen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their assets literally are put on ice. So it's okay.
Yeah.
But no, you said it, Mike. I mean, I will fight anybody on this, but nobody has a mastery of time travel like Stephen Moffat does. Mm-hmm. He has introduced so many amazing time travel stories to Doctor Who. I mean, he really emphasizes that he's a time traveler and then plays with it in ways that no one else had done before, nor has done since. I just think it's masterful. And this is a great example of it used. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes he's a little too ambitious, but in this case, like with Blink, it's amazing. And in this is like, it's just as amazing, I think. It's such a great use, and using time travel and sort of the sort of inspiration of the three ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. It's just really clever.
Oh, and it was brilliant the way they did the future and showing it. It's like, when they were showing it to the kid, this is your future,
right?
Yes.
And he's like, okay, get it over with. Let me see my future. And he's like, I am showing your future now. And it's such a clever idea that it's like he's showing the kid his future, not him as an adult, his future. Like that's
right. It makes so much more sense to show it to the kid.
So powerful. Yeah. So powerful.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty amazing. And
like, look, you're your father and he's a jerk.
Yep.
And so are you.
Exactly. Look, you turned into the guy you hate. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, they always say, a lot of times you become your parents, and he literally did. And, a lot of people
played by the same actor.
Exactly. All you have to do is put an evil goatee on yourself and you could be the, So he could have been, basically the Kazran from the alternate universe, from the mirror universe. That's it. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
So,
Bizarro Kazran.
Yeah. And it was interesting too, because, the Starliner, I love how the bridge mirrored what the Enterprise was at the top, especially like the Next Generation look and feel.
Oh yeah, it was very Star Trek-y.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Even the outside of the ship was it really reminded you of Star Trek ships.
Mm-hmm. And it was interesting too, because you had, like we said, you had the Star Trek feel to compare it with the Dickens era planet. And, even though they had high technology, it still felt like you were in the late 1800s in London.
Yes.
So it was just
the ship was coming from Earth though, right? So it's not like it was a different species of aliens, if you will, or other life forms. They were, I guess there an Earth colony? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that
yes, they were.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seemed like anyway.
Because I noticed, like, when they were showing the dates and stuff, it was like the year 4000 something. So
yeah,
they were from Earth probably couple thousand years ago, and so they were colonists eventually, but now they're whatever. And says, what do I care if 4,000 new heads? I don't want to feed them, And he was just a jackass.
Oh yeah, like yeah. I mean, he outscrewed Scrooge.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, it's not going to land on my place, so I don't care if they crash.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I think, a very pointed poke, at current events and the state of the world at the time, and also now, where selfishness, has caused a lot of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. One of my favorite stories, of course, is A Christmas Carol. Period. It came out in 1843, and it's just as relevant now, maybe even more so as it was in 1840. And it's like, wow. I mean, talk about writing a perennial story that just is lives through the ages. I mean, we kind of wish it didn't. Probably Dickens would be like, really? That's still going on? But it's still relevant? Yes, it is, Charles. Sorry, it is. Because people are people, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And, it doesn't seem like in a lot of places it's getting easier. And, you still have the rich. Oh, you went off for Christmas break? What? No, we need to have our widgets made or whatever you're doing. And, well, we'll give you, humbug, we'll give you the night off for Christmas Eve, but be back here on Monday morning.
All the earlier.
Yes, exactly. And
this year in particular, with Christmas being on a Sunday, it's like, oh yeah, we don't get as many days off as we usually do because it's easier when it's during the week.
Yes and no. My company is closing on Friday and Monday for the holiday.
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah, but I know a lot of companies. Judy's is doing the same, and a few others. So, but at least a lot of places, because I think the federal holiday is going to be Monday for this.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Monday. I mean, Barbara got Friday and Monday too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
Still doesn't get Friday off.
No.
I'm sure a lot of people didn't.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And everything. So but it was interesting too, because this story, was so well done, and it brought back so many, callbacks to old Doctor Who or past seasons and such, anything from like when young Karzan and the Doctor opened the ice chamber, and they were wearing fezzes and and such. It was really cute because, of course, the Doctor can never pass up a fez. But
fezzes are cool.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But
yeah, he won't get the Stetson until next season.
Nope. The very next episode, but then River shoots it off. So yeah. But it was interesting too.
But yeah, the kids wearing the scarf at one point in one of the pictures. And of course, thrown in there, we get this wonderful scene of them at a party, a Christmas party in Hollywood. And, this is the big scene where, the big event where the Doctor gets married to Marilyn Monroe, which is, we don't actually see, but man, that's another thing that's like, they could have easily tried to hire a Marilyn lookalike or something like that. But you know what? Stephen leaves it to our imagination, and that's exactly where it should be, because it's just an amazing thing to think about.
Yeah, go grab your coat, Marilyn. We're going. I love that.
Yeah, he almost seems like I don't know. Dare say it seems like he's drunk there, and it's like, wow, does the Doctor get drunk?
That's a good question.
He's so hyper all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so hard to tell.
Exactly.
He was just singing with Frank, so I can see where that would be a high.
Oh yeah.
And
I love it when when Kazan and Abigail were making out, and it's like, well, do you guys ever stop?
How do you breathe?
Exactly. And so it was really cute, and there were a lot of great points in this, and I loved it, and it was a perfect amount of comedy and adventure, and tying it into a story that we're very familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those episodes where everything works. The production, the direction, the acting, the writing, it all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
It is just such an enjoyable episode.
And it had flying sharks, which is awesome.
Which, I mean, that alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly. The poor sonic screwdriver.
Half of it's still in that thing.
Shark.
Exactly. well, it's trying to repair itself, but why is it blinking? And I loved it when the shark was in the ice chamber. It was just like, I guess it's feeling better.
The fin, the fin going by in the fog. I was just like, it's ridiculous, but it's works because, like Mary said, the whole tone is like a fable.
Right. Yeah, I think that's why you can get away with it. It's just, I mean, it's such an absurdist fantasy anyway. I mean, so it's from the very beginning, it's ridiculous. And so you can really get away with it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. And, I love the little fish around the lights. That was just so very well done. And it wasn't like in your face either, except for the shark, but that's something else. But the little, like the feeder fish and all the fish, floating around and everything. And I just thought it was great. I just thought it was a ton of fun. And each character you felt for, and it was cool. And I'm glad it wasn't overly Amy and Rory too. They were just in it just enough.
Yeah, they were in it very little, actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Just enough. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Are we Amy and Rory haters?
No, not at all.
No, I love Amy and Rory.
No, and
that's what I thought.
I love, how, she was talking to the doctor. Are you lying? Are you lying to me? And it's like, oh, no. And it's like, and then she turns around and lies to Rory. Oh, hush, everything's okay.
Yeah. Well, what's even better of that is she's like, what do you take me for? I'm not stupid, And then she goes and lies to Rory, like, as if, okay, well, he's stupid, so I can lie to him. You won't know.
But that's their relationship right there. And says it right, the whole thing. She always thought, she's obviously the alpha in the relationship anyway. And, and it was just, and so, she always was like, always throughout the whole run of them, she's always like talking down to him, always treating him with kid gloves. Oh, it's okay, dear. It's, that type of thing. And you saw that.
That just makes it even better, though, when he has his moments where he shows he's actually the one who's got, sort of that inner core strength and that bravery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so when somebody needs to step up, he steps up. When somebody needs to tell the doctor off, he tells him off.
Well, and he was like, oh, the doctor saved the day again? And he was like, yeah, kind of, sort of. He did, yeah. Because he, was like, hey, I did my thing too. So. It was good.
Yeah, well, there's that, he's still jealous, obviously. And there's moments where, it looks like Amy is like really still taken with him, but it's a connection that's not the same. Not the same.
Mm-hmm. Nope, agreed.
Because because even though in this the doctor gets married to Marilyn, probably like the epitome of a sex symbol. Matt's doctor, and he's the one that actually does get married later on to River.
The next season,
he just sort of seems like asexual. And even in this in particular, like the scenes are really wonderful where the young boy, Katherine as a young boy, is asking him things like, like, hey, if a woman's crying, do I go and talk to her? And, the 11th Doctor's like, I don't know.
It's like, don't ask me that.
I don't have no idea. Or like, hey, I think she's going to kiss me. What do I do? And he's like, just
don't ask me, kid.
Don't come to me with that kind of advice for that sort of thing.
And the doctor's like, I don't know. Yeah. That's human stuff. Come on. And yeah, there was just so much fun in this. And, watching it, I kept on saying, okay, what was bad about this? What sucked? Everything from the doctor coming down the fireplace and going, I just saw the fireplace and I figured, why the heck not? And it was just awesome. And it worked. Everything worked in this one. Everyone we've reviewed so far, we've found, oh, the third act didn't work or this didn't work. This one I thought was pretty much.
It just works.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm. It is. So any final thoughts before we go ahead and rate this one? Wow.
Can't think of anything.
I think we've been felling over this one long enough. All right.
We're just kind of gushing at this point.
Are we doing five TARDISes all the way across?
Oh, I'm definitely going 5 TARDISes.
5.
Yeah, me too.
For me, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this for a Christmas story, and even all the stories in general. Like, it's just so well done, and everybody performs really well. It's just top notch, and it's one that, you know, if you have someone in your life that is not familiar with the Doctor, they're going to be familiar with Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a great entry point, I think, for Doctor Who fan, or, you know, would-be Doctor Who fans, potential Doctor Who fans, because this is something that they can recognize, but also with a different twist to it.
No, very much so. And I guess, yeah, this would be a good starting point, even though we've always said that the 11th Hour, which was the beginning of the last season, was a great
that's
start.
A better starting point, only because then you get to enjoy the whole season leading up to this.
Yeah.
But still, you could definitely start with this one, I think.
Very much so. If you haven't watched Doctor Who, this is the Doctor's character in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And right from this point, because the next one is the where the Doctor dies in the very first episode, you know. And, you know, and it's okay. I'm spoiling something that, you know, is over 11 years old, folks. So
it's okay. You know, I mean, everybody knows the Doctor dies at some point.
Of course.
But just like, what is it? Death has to, Katherine at some point says, death comes to us all. Like, we all die sometime, like, you know. But I also want to just point out real quick that through this whole year, I think I've been, you know, Matt Smith has done a lot this year. And then granted, this is a 12-year-old story, but still, just watching it made me think, man, Matt is amazing. You know, he was the only good thing about Morbius, which is a horrible movie that I don't recommend anybody see. But in House of Dragon, I think certainly maybe in the first half of the show, and maybe even sometime later, the show is decent, but I mean, he carries it. He is amazing in that show. You don't even think about him as the Doctor while watching House of the Dragon. You completely forget of his character as the Doctor. He's so different. He's so great. And, you know, I think finally we're seeing him sort of come into his own. He's no longer going to be that guy that played the Doctor. I think he's going to go on and do much, much, much better things and have even greater opportunities.
I would say yes, but I think everyone's still going to remember him as the Doctor. Look at David Tennant. He's done a ton of crap, and, you know, big Hollywood productions, and, you know, a lot of different, he has done, you know, Shakespeare. He's done all this different stuff, but he's still mostly known as the Doctor.
Yeah, because he hasn't done anything that's really had a role that sort of eclipsed that. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff, but most of it has been, all right, you know, but nothing to put him on the scale. Like, even House of Dragons is like way bigger than Doctor Who is. Like, he gets more people watching House of Dragons than ever watched Doctor Who. So, I mean, that's a big step up. The same thing with, as much as I hate to say it, I think more people saw Morbius than watched Doctor Who. Like, he's in a big Marvel movie, you know. And then, now granted, David was in a Marvel thing too, but it was on Netflix. It's a TV show that now it doesn't count as the MCU. And I think a lot of people claimed his performance, but, you know, I think, you know, I'm not comparing them as their acting ability. I'm just saying that I think Matt is stepping up finally to a level that I think the sky's the limit for this guy, as it is for David as well.
Oh, very much so. And I think, you know, they had this, Peter Capaldi was just in this amazing show on Amazon where he was basically a criminal mastermind. And
yeah, the Stephen Moffat show.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's I haven't watched it yet, but everyone who's been raving about it. And so it's
And
I definitely want to see that as well.
I think Good Omens was actually a pretty big thing for David Tennant.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Very much so.
And also The Crown was a pretty big. In fact, I would say that maybe The Crown was the breakout role for
Matt Smith.
Mm-hmm.
For Matt?
I mean, for moving away from the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
He was a great Prince Philip.
Yeah. I would love to see Matt again at some point. Obviously not like David is coming, but I hope sometime we do get to see. But I mean, as far as those people who are hoping that we'll see like 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, big finish, you're probably going to have to wait quite a while.
Most likely.
But it is nice that also both Matt Smith and David Tennant seem to have really loved their time on Doctor Who.
Yes.
And always speak about it in a way that is very respectful and seems like they actually really enjoyed their time there and, don't mind coming back every once in a while and playing around in that sandbox.
I'm sorry,
again.
Mary, are you suggesting that some others haven't?
No, I would never. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Craziness. You crazy kids, you. So that is going to wrap up this episode. I think it's pretty cool that we had an amazing holiday special right before Christmas, which is pretty awesome.
Yes, absolutely. This was the best one to end on before Christmas.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So, we will be back again, of course, in 2 weeks. And we are going to be talking about the last of the Christmas specials that we are going to be reviewing. We are, of course, going to be talking about the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. So, yay.
What a great way to start the new year.
Yep. Well. Very much so. But as a reminder, folks.
Sorry, I tried to say that with a straight face, but I
know.
Mary broke, and I just couldn't. No. I couldn't hold it in anymore. So, everything that's right about this one that we've talked about works. Well, we'll talk about it in a couple of
weeks. Not quite the same.
Not the same.
Not quite the same.
Maybe it's aged. Maybe it's aged better. I don't know.
Maybe it has. You're right. I haven't seen it since it aired originally. So
I haven't seen it in a long time. So
we might come back and go.
So it'll be try to go in with fresh eyes.
Exactly. We might be completely surprised. You never know. So
absolutely,
definitely should be interesting to see, and definitely would love to hear from you guys at home. Feedback at earthstationwho.com. Let us know what you guys thought. Everybody, we hope you guys have a fantastic holiday. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate you guys more than you ever could imagine. And thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast. We know there's a ton of Doctor Who out there, and, everyone's trying to put out material right now until Doctor Who's back. So we appreciate you taking the extra time to listen to us. And let's thank our crew, of course, Mr. Mike Gordon. Thank you as always.
As always, it's my pleasure. Yes, and I wish everybody best wishes for the holiday season and for the new year.
And, of course, Mary Ogle. Do you want to promote your stuff, Mary?
You can find me at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
Oh, that's going to be great. You could still get an after Christmas gift from Mary's site.
Yes.
Definitely. And, any little bit helps, folks. Any little bit helps. And, speaking of little bits helps, we do have a TeePublic store. So you can definitely check out our TeePublic store. We're going to be adding the link to it actually to the Earth Station Who website. So check it out. It'll be up on the top navigation by the time this episode goes live, and you can get our new logo t-shirt. I actually got mine in the mail the other day, and it looks awesome. So it's very cool. You can even get, the new logo on a sweatshirt, or you can get it on a mug, or you can get it on a mouse pad. Does anyone even use mouse pads anymore? So
I have not used a mouse pad in like 15 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, since they got rid of the trackballs and we were on like lasers now, you don't really need the mouse pads. So it's like, why sell them? Who knows? They do make good soundproofing though, if you get enough of them, through the room and everything. So it's pretty cool. But folks, thank you very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year, and see you in 2023. Wow.
Wow.
We'll see you next year.
Happy holidays!
Happy holidays!
Peace. And we're done.
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a bi-weekly pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talent from across the universe. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individual and are used for entertainment value alone. You subscribe to our podcast up on iTunes, Stitcher, or follow our blog at www.esopodcast.com. You can also follow us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you enjoyed the show, please leave feedback up on iTunes.
It's time for a promo for the Epsilon 3 podcast.
The Epsilon 3? What do we talk about?
It's a Babylon 5 rewatch podcast.
Babylon 5? What's that?
It's the greatest 1990s sci-fi show in history.
How are we going to watch it?
With glee and excitement.
How would we rate those kind of episodes?
Out of jump gates.
How many jump gates?
Out of 5 jump gates.
Because it's Babylon 5.
That is correct. If you go to Zahadum, you will die. But you know what you won't do? You won't die listening to the Epsilon 3 podcast, right here on the ESO Network.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.